Hey homegirls, welcome to my channel. I'm Heidi with Happily Thriving Heidi. So we're gonna just jump right into the first craft, which is meant for your front door. I am gonna be taking these supplies that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Start by removing all of the canvas fabric from the frames. Now these frames are high quality thick pieces of wood, which is the reason why I have decided to use them. So many people forever have been trying to figure out how to create a window frame from popsicle sticks and all sorts of crazy things, but this is the fastest way to make a really darling farmhouse window frame. So you're going to take two of the ends and glue them together, and then you're going to repeat that on the other two, and then once you've got those glued together, you're going to glue the middle to each other. So now you're going to have four pieces all glued together, and to make it a little bit stronger, because you know it's still hot glue, you're going to flip it over and take some popsicle sticks and glue those at the seams. This is going to make it really sturdy and strong without it breaking or falling apart on you if you barely even drop it. Then you're going to take some brown paint and water it down to create a wood stain. Now you don't have to do this if you're planning on painting it white, which is what you're going to see me do next, but I want you to see that if you are more of a wood loving person, this is a really pretty option as well. I just wanted you to be able to see that if you take some brown paint and some water, it makes it look like a stained vintage piece of wood. Now because I want mine to be white and I love the color white painted on things, my husband makes fun of me all the time because I'm always bringing things into our home and painting them white. I'm going to take some of this paint with a small brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush it on because I do still want that wood grain to come through. I really do love that rustic farmhouse look, but I love that weathered paint look as well. So I'm just going to lightly brush that all over my frame, and then once I'm all done painting it, I'm going to put it to the side and let it dry and move on to another part. Don't forget to flip around your frame on different angles so you don't miss painting one side. I have that happen all the time. Now you're going to take your wreath, and I picked this up from the floral section. It wasn't in the Christmas decor. You're going to have to go over to that section and you will find all sorts of wreaths that they have there. I took a pick that had pine cones and a cotton stem and the Christmas tree stems, and I just cut it all apart, as well as a vine that I picked up from Hobby Lobby a long time ago that has boxwood leaves. I thought the different green textures would be really pretty on this wreath. Once I've got all my greenery glued into place, I'm then going to add in some color and that cotton stem. I just think that this looks so pretty and natural and more real versus fake. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm going to add in my berries and my cotton stem, and I just think at this point it looks so stinking pretty. Make sure you hot glue everything down into place really well, just because it keeps it looking nice for long term, especially when you pack things up when Christmas is over. Things can kind of get smushed and they break off. Now you're going to take the two birds that you pick up from the Dollar Tree, and you are going to pop off their little clips on their bums. You don't need those, just because we're going to be hot gluing it into place. So give your birds a nice helping of hot glue, and then just place them where you would like them to be. And I think this looks so cute. It looks like they have their own little nest inside this wreath. And funny enough, every single winter we actually have a pair of birds lay eggs in our wreath on the front door. Then to finish the wreath, you're going to take a piece of twine, two of the jingle bells. There are 12 in a pack, so you can use these for other things, but I'm going to take just two of them, and I'm going to tie them to the end of a piece of twine. This is going to allow them to hang down nicely and look really pretty. And then you're going to just drape it over the bottom of your wreath and hot glue that into place and let it sit for a minute. Now ignore that burlap ribbon at the bottom. I decided to take it off at the end, so just ignore that it's there. But to fasten your wreath to your window frame, you're going to take a piece of twine. You're going to pull it through on the back side. You don't want to see it from the front, so just make sure you're going down the back side of the wreath, and then you're going to tie it to your window frame. And then to make sure it stays nice and secure, you're going to take some scissors, cut off that extra twine so you don't see that coming around the front, and hot glue it down into place. Now to make a hanger up at the top, you're going to take some twine. I used some thick twine that I untwisted from the Dollar Tree rope. And then you're going to simply add on a bow.
If you don't already know, there is a playlist that everyone who will be participating in this challenge will be linking to.
Make sure you click down below in the description box to get to those other girls playing along with their Christmas farmhouse decor. They are going to each be making 3 items as well, and I cannot wait to watch what they're making. Up next is the easiest DIY. Oh friends, I'm so excited to share this one. When I saw them come out with these at Christmas time, I just knew that I wanted to turn this into a farmhouse DIY. So I took off this cheesy silver tinsel garland that was on it, and you're left with this cone that is perfect. Now the spacing between the jump rings are a little too wide apart for what we're going to be doing, so I'm going to take some of this twine, and again, this came from the rope at the Dollar Tree. I just untwisted it and it gave me 3 nice thick pieces of twine. So I'm going to cut that piece off and I'm just going to glue it into place, and you can see that I'm making smaller jump ring sections that's going to allow me to be able to glue something to it in just another moment. And when you do that one, you're going to make sure you go in between the other 2, the one at the bottom and as well as the one at the top. And make sure you glue them into place nicely so that there aren't any issues structurally and it falls apart with time. Once you've got those all glued into place, you're going to see that it's ready for the next step. So you're going to take some drop cloth. I bought a huge drop cloth at Home Depot, and then over time I've just been ripping it up and using it for my DIYs. So you're going to take your tree and you're going to just figure out how wide you want your strips to be. And once you do, you're going to make a snip in the fabric, and then you're just going to simply rip it all the way down to the bottom. I love doing it this way because it frays the edges and it saves me from having to do that work myself. It actually speeds up that process. You're going to take those strips of fabric, you're going to pinch the end, and this is to create a nice fold in the beginning, and you're just going to hot glue that down into place. Now we're going to be doing a ruffle all the way around this tree, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It is the easiest thing to create a ruffle, but just in case you don't know, I'm going to walk you through the steps in the beginning. So first what you're going to do is you're going to create a line of hot glue, pull that down, press it in place, and then you're going to do a dot of hot glue. And you're going to want to also make sure that you're reaching down at the bottom, and again there's no bald spots. So now do a little dot of glue, pull it back, push it down into place, let it dry for a second, and then you're going to pull back that fabric so that you can put in your next line of glue. So you're just going to go back and forth between line, dot, and then it'll create the ruffle without any struggle at all. When you get to the end of that first jump ring section, you're going to take your fabric, you're going to take your scissors, and you're going to cut it, because you don't need any of that extra stuff. And then you're simply going to take the end of that fabric and you're going to turn it under and hot glue it down into place. So just like I'm doing here, you're going to fold it under, and I'll show you one more time just in case you missed it. And to make sure it stays into place, I've decided to just put a little hot glue, fold it under, and then I'm going to put down some hot glue on the starting points, and then I'm just going to hot glue that down into place. And now you have finished all the way around your first row, and you're going to just move all the way up to the top. Now, to make sure that the bottom stays in place and it just doesn't get all weird looking over time, I'm just going to glue down little bits here and there where the pleat is on the back side to glue it into place. When you get to the top and after you've gone all the way around, you're just going to complete that last little bit. And the top, if you noticed, I was pinching the fabric together to make sure that it is nice and smushed. The fabric towards the top gets less and less just because there's less surface to have to circle around. So it's really not that complicated. You just keep smushing it in just like I'm doing here. Now that you've got it all covered with fabric, you can decorate it. You could technically leave it like this with just the fabric if that's your style and you like that, or you can add a little flare at the top, which is more my style. So I'm gonna add some of the picks that I just cut up into little small pieces, and I'm going to add a pretty glitter bow. If you haven't already, I would love it if you click that subscribe button and join my family here on my channel. And please give this video a thumbs up to let me know that you are enjoying the content. The last DIY we're going to do today is with these picks and with these 3 jars that you can pick up from the Dollar Tree. I just think these picks are so pretty and I cannot wait to show you what I'm going to make with them. Now, raise your hand if you cannot stand stickers that just do not come off. Friends, years ago I used to own a scrapbook company, and I'm going to tell you right now that when stickers rip like this for the barcodes, it is simply because the company is trying to cut back. All they have to do is pay a couple more cents and have the nicer stickers on the bottom. So this just drives me nuts. Once you get that sticker off, or if you don't at all, just go ahead and add some red paint to your jars, giving it a nice coating all the way around and then letting that dry. You're going to do that to all 3 of the jars, and while they're drying and you put them off to the side, you're then going to move on to ripping some more of those strips, or if you've already done them, then you're ready to go and just wait for the jars to dry. I'm going to fray them a little bit more and just pull out some of those fibers and then simply hot glue them around the jar. Now, I made something like this for a fall video that I did a couple months ago where I wrote fall on them, but this one's going to be joy, and it's going to be so pretty. I can't wait to show you what the O looks like in the middle. So when you get to the end, you're just going to fold that over and hot glue it into place. And then once your jar is done, you're going to move on to the other 2. Now use a pencil and just sketch on your J and your Y, and make sure you line your jars up so that the letters are the same size and consistency. This is the easiest part, girls. You're going to just go right over the J with your Sharpie marker. And then remember, we're not going to do the O because I have something planned for the O. And the best part about this is there's no dry time, it's just immediate. You're going to take one of these garland ties and you're going to give it a haircut, because as of right now it's a little too bushy for it to be able to be used for a mini wreath. So you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to go down the garland, leaving some of the greenery and just trimming off a lot of that excess stuff. Then you're going to push that out of the way. It's funny because it kept sticking to my hands and to the table. It like magnetized. You're going to circle around to create your little mini wreath. You're going to test out the size before you cut it, and then once you've got it in place, you're going to cut it down to size and then just keep bending it until you get it to the perfect shape that you want. I wanted more of a long O than a short, chubby, round one kind of look, just because it's going to match the J and the Y better. You know, that Ray Dunn look that we all love. Then you're going to add some hot glue and put that on your jar, and then add some cute little berries and trim up any of that greenery that might be kind of going rogue that maybe you missed in the beginning. Take some foam squares you can also pick up from the Dollar Tree, cut them down to size and add a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of each one, and then shove them all in there nice and snug so they don't come loose. This is going to allow you to be able to put in all of your picks without there being any issues of them falling out and moving on you. Then just cut apart those 3 picks that I showed you earlier and put them all down inside of your jars, creating a really pretty look for your Christmas tables or entryway, wherever you decide to plan on using these jars. Then to finish the look, I'm going to take some of this gingham ribbon that I actually picked up from Walmart. I love this ribbon. It's over in their craft section, and I'm just going to tie a bow. And it still looked a little plain Jane, so I decided to take a button and really finish off the look. There's something about adding a little button on the inside of a bow that just makes me so happy every time I do it. I just always love the way it looks. And then here is the finished look. I want to thank Chantel, Kirsty, and Christy for partnering in this Farmhouse Christmas DIY collab. It was so much fun. I can't wait to watch your videos. Thanks everyone for watching and joining me on my channel. Remember, don't forget to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss what's coming up on Friday. More DIYs are coming your way.
And to all of my friends, until the next video, bye homegirls.